Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. In this video, I am down in Dallas, Texas. I've come to a friend's house and kind of a co-worker. Nicole works for Plant Development Services, which is the Southern Living Plant Collection, and Better Boxwood, and Encore Azaleas, and the Sunset Plant Collection, and Butterfly Candy brands that you guys know I use quite a bit in the garden at the house. And her fiance just bought this house in Dallas, and I was here for a conference and decided to come over and just kind of help them lay out some beds in this pretty wide open. This is a good size. It's a good size lot in a fairly urban area. So they've got a lot of opportunity back here to put quite a few plants in and still have a little bit of open space. Got a patio over here. You're going to see the drone footage from overhead. It's a little bright out. So it's a little bit shadowy, but if I wait too long, I'm going to have the shadows coming across from the house into the middle of the yard. It's not going to get better. So it's going to be sun's up big and tall, but I'm basically just going to lay out some beds under the drone, and then I'll walk through with the camera here and just kind of talk about it as we go. So we'll jump over to the drone footage. I'm just gonna leave turf around where the main camera is sitting right this minute, and the rest of the space back this way will turn into beds. This is a southern hackberry, and they're just gonna limit up to where it looks a bit more like a tree instead of a shrub like it is now. And I think you can see the catalpa is right on the edge of the property. It's on the neighbor's side, but it is casting a shadow across here. It's not in the best of shape, so I don't know what will ultimately happen with that. But again, I'm just gonna leave one turf area here. Everything else is going to be bed. So I just, we'll start somewhere right about here, because this patio area right here, I wanna be able to put some sort of low shrubs here. So when you sit in the patio space, you feel like you don't want anything that blocks the garden, but something here, so if you sit down, all of a sudden you feel like you're in a bit of a protected space, but nothing taller than that. Definitely want to get the tree into a bed. I'm not happy with grass around it back here. So you can see just this basic layout of this one piece of turf here, but it allows for, instead of having these rectangular beds that are here now, having a long, an elongated bed, which will allow for some, here, the more bed edges you have like this, the more opportunity you have to put low growing perennials, interesting small growing things, and then have enough room to layer back into larger things. Like there's some knockout roses right here. There's a container with a larger growing crepe myrtle in it. But now we're buying this space here so we can have a little bit more of a layered look. I do want to be able to navigate the garden, so all this is going to be mulched over here. But they do have this path of stepping stones going right here. I think maybe from here, they could bring a similar kind of path going around the house. The driveway on this side is where mulch and other materials will be brought in, so it'll be good to have some sort of path that brings you around to here and ties into this existing path that takes you to the patio. This bed is so big back here, and it may be hard to see it from the drone footage, that it probably needs some sort of path through it ultimately. So off of this turf circle right here, some sort of path, which doesn't have to be stones. It doesn't have to be something solid. It could just be two different types of mulches, which is how I do it at my house. The paths are wood chips. The beds for the plants are hardwood mulch. And it's inexpensive to maintain that way. Again, I don't think you'll be able to see that going all the way around the southern hackberry, but just having this path here again is going to give more edges. The more edges you have, the easier it is to landscape. If I leave this bed, which from here to the back corner is probably 30 feet deep, 25 feet deep, it's impossible to figure out what to layer all the way back to that fence. By putting this path down the middle of it, I can now put small things here on the bed edge and then bigger things going up to the fence. I thought I'd have Nicole follow me around with the camera and show you the back garden, you know, other than that top-down footage. Again, there's a 6-foot fence around here, so we really don't have to, and that patio is low, so there's not a lot of decisions to make around screening plants. Like, we don't need 25-foot tall evergreens out here necessarily in order to, because you feel like you're in a private space, and if you stay low on the deck or over there on that patio, you don't have to worry about it. But it's a lot of wooden fence, right? So I would like to buffer it here or there, you know, so that they end up with a few evergreen things along it without trying to, again, build a wall and put themselves in a prison, because they don't need to be. But it does need to, it needs a little less fence as the backdrop for everything, okay? We laid this space out. There's a long, narrow space. These houses, just like my house in Raleigh, they're pretty close together. And so when you put a 6-foot privacy fence down the middle of that property line, there's not a lot you can do back here. Gas meters over there, AC units over there. This area, I'm thinking you just mulch it and you walk away. I don't think it's a real reason to get involved in trying to decorate. It doesn't have a gate, and it has no reason to have real foot traffic. You need to leave it open just in case somebody needs to service that AC or something like that. But a lot of effort back there would seem like it would be a waste of energy when you have all of this other work to kind of do out here. This area, as you can see the shadow toward the end of the day, it's not the end of the day, it's like 4:30 in the afternoon, but you can start to see the house is taking over here, right? And putting a little shade here. So she's got some Encore azaleas in containers over there, and while they do like more sun than traditional azaleas, I don't think they really want to sit in the Dallas, Texas sun from morning until night. So this will be a good spot. So by 4 o'clock or so, they're going to get tons of sun, and then by 4, they'll get some relief in the summer sun. Nicole's fiance, Richard, is a Chelsea fan, and you guys know by now that I'm a Chelsea fan, so it was also nice. We called a match before I came out here and filmed, but you can see these kind of rectangular planting areas. This is the kind of thing, just from a design perspective, in my own personal opinion, all of these things are obviously my opinion. The house is rectangular, the driveway is rectangular, the sidewalk's rectangular, the deck is rectangular. It's kind of nice to then add curves, you know, into these kinds of spaces. So the beds are, you know, have long curves. I don't want to, not curves typically like this, because those are hard to maintain, but what they're going to do now, so the process will be, it's going to be much easier to have a halfway decent lawn out here having a much smaller lawn, right? You can put the same amount of energy you were putting into all the space into a smaller space. And then they're just going to go rent a trench edger, and trench this line around here so that we have a flat edge up against the turf and a kind of a sloped edge up against where the mulch is going to be. So the mulch will just fall down against that grass. I would recommend on a project like this, the first time you're doing it, especially if it's hot and dry and rocky or whatever, that you go and rent a trench edger. You can do this with a shovel, and it's easier. It'll be easy to maintain it with a shovel in the future, but I would cut it with a trench edger the first time. From there, this grass, there's Bermuda grass over here, and there's not a lot of options for Bermuda grass outside of spraying it or burying it for a very long period of time in something. I like such a long time that I don't know that you can get to the starting line. So I think with Bermuda, this little bit of Bermuda grass they have out in here, this is a job I'm going to spray. I'm going to edge it, I'm going to spray it once, and then I'm going to get the mulch down quickly after that. And then a few weeks from now, they can start planting. Again, this path, they've got the stones laid here from the deck steps out to that patio space. Patio's nice and low. Again, so the fence, you know, they feel fairly protected out here. And then this path can be whatever they want it to be. Doesn't matter what it is. It just some differentiation between the hardwood mulch that'll be here and the path here. So it doesn't have to be stone. And then this was the path I was talking about back here. This is, it doesn't seem like it. This is, This is one of those awkward spaces for a tree, and I had this red bud at the house. When I put up the original drone footage from, if you go to the playlist on the channel called New House, one of the first videos, you can see the first video in that playlist. There was a big red bud, and it was out from the fence this far, and it was actually just kind of in the way of me being able to kind of do anything with it. This does not spread as much as that red bud did. It's a little bit more vertical, so I don't think it needs to go, but it definitely needs to be limbed up some, so it looks more like a tree and less like a shrub. Because look at all this real estate they're not using. You kind of can't see. There's a lot of space back here, a whole lot of space. And so this is, limbing that thing up is going to allow you to see back here and then landscape it. And then this path that I've kind of painted around the tree, it'll be mulch up in there. They don't really have to plant anything around it. The tree's just going to be overall happier from that. And then this path, along the edges of the path, can be ground covers, low shrubs, whatever they want to plant. Tougher things. I mean, Dallas is, this is a fairly tough environment. Some of the Sunset plant collection items are probably good ideas for, a landscape like this where you're not going to have to water it as much. They've planted a fig back here in the corner already, which will get pretty big. So that a good space filler for the corner. And then a few evergreens along this fence, I think ultimately will be helpful in just being less fence, right? And more, just kind of natural space. There's a tree over on the other side with a big branch hanging over into the garden. That branch probably needs to go. It's not really offering anything at all. And there's probably room back in here to make a tree choice, right? So, which is, it can be fun and daunting at the same time to find a tree, that you really want. Because I'm not going to plant 6 trees back here, because then I'm not going to have any, it's just going to be all, more than I'd want. But I would want to come in here, I think, and put some sort of ornamental tree, or maybe even a larger shade tree. But this limb from this other tree over there just needs to be cut back to the property line. And then some sort of ornamental tree can go in this back corner and then plant it around. And I think overall, just that quick decision of reducing this turf area, and this is going to be easy to mow, right? They're going to leave this gate area over there on that other side open so that they can get the mulch in here easy to maintain it. It's completely flat, so it's going to be super, super easy. The only other things to look at in this garden is where Nicole happens to be standing with the camera now is a little low. And so I think ultimately, that's going to be slightly more moist in that corner during wetter times. And so maybe some thoughts about that, because I don't think it's going to get out of here with that fence back there. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward from here. So edge it, get rid of the grass in whatever form you want. But for me, Bermuda grass, I'm probably spraying it, and then get it mulched and covered and get on planting it. As you know me and my channel, I would probably do the wood chips first. I would wood chip all that space and then wait 6 or 8 months. But, Nicole's got a job to do, and doing social media for Southern Living Plant Collection and stuff, and wants to get on. And she's got containers all over the place that she's wanting to put into the ground. And so it's probably, she's not going to want to wait all that long. So a little bit of shovel full of compost with each plant that goes in the ground, maybe something like that, and good to go. So there you go. There's me. I just want to show you occasionally, just coming into a space like this and how I would think through it. Again, everybody's going to think through it a little bit differently. I want the least amount of maintenance that I can possibly do with the most bang for my buck. So all the way around this garden is going to be opportunity for interesting things, but still with a focal spot in the middle with the turf here, still in a patio over there. This will be very functional and hopefully lower maintenance than it would be if you had turf running all up in these corners forever. There'd be no weed eating or anything like that in this space. So thank you guys so much. Let me know down below if this type of video is helpful laying out new spaces like this, and thanks for following along.